What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. Let's do some what sales this week. I've been trying to do 3 videos a week, but not quite there. I haven't quite got my process down, so I'm still at 2 videos a week. Trying to do what's sold every other week to try and get in a little bit more live sales, live thrifting, that kind of stuff. But yeah, last 2 weeks were pretty good. Almost $600 in sales in each of the 2 weeks. Let's get into it. Okay, up first, video game. Very easy to sell, very easy to list. Pokemon, definitely one of the more easier games to like have some value to it. This is Pokemon Pearl. Bought this from my brother-in-law, Michael. Whenever I do that, it's 40% to me, 40% to them, and then 20% set aside for any kind of fees or shipping supplies, that kind of thing. So it's going to be like $12.50 to me and $12.50 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. Item number 2, a little bit more interesting. This is a New Wave cooktop. These do have some value. They're just a little bit of a longer tail item. Picked up 2 different models of this at a thrift store a while back for $30 for both. So it was a pretty good deal. It's going to be like $75 for both of them in my mind as far as the value. This one sold for $35. So I had assigned a cost of about $17 for this one, and it would have been $13 to the other one. I think it sold for ended up being like $30. So I doubled my money on this. Not the best investment ever, but they sold and we made some money, so we're doing well. Item number 3 this week is this Canon digital camera. Honestly, I don't even remember where I got this one. I think this is one I got from a Goodwill a few weeks ago, but I am blanking on it. It was super cheap, though. I only paid $2 for this and was able to make $40. My fast and simple rule on digital cameras is trying not to buy anything that's below 12 megapixels. And then try and look them up whenever you can, just because there's such amount of variability in the market as far as what's currently selling, what people want. You never really know with them, but a good thing to start with is 12 megapixels and then look them up from there. All right, item number 4. This is an Imaginext Samurai Castle. Picked up a bunch of these from a friend of mine, Eric, and his son, Gabe. They were looking to clear out some space in the house, and I was like, they're a little bit longer tail, and they don't have a ton of value without the figures. But I've been trying to work my way through them. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one that has sold. Sold for $18 plus shipping. So it's going to be about $7 to me and $7 to them, and then the rest going over to fees and such. So thank you guys. Item number 4, another item that I purchased from my brother-in-law, Michael. This is an official Sony Playstation Bag, probably for the PlayStation 1 or 2, not really sure. This one ended up selling for $15 plus shipping, so about $6 to me, $6 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. And then item number 6, also a Michael item. This one's a little bit more unusual, though. This is a Wheel Stand Pro, basically for like any of the force feedback steering wheels and pedals that you can use for video games. Higher end, right? This is something that goes with the high end market of these. And so he had the wheel and the pedals to go to it. To a specific unit, which I still have for sale. Those haven't sold yet. But I was like, I'll list up the stand as well. It was a little bulky. I never sold anything really like this before. Amber and I really kind of talked like, is this going to be worth it? Because I definitely had to Frankenstein a box to make this work. But I ended up selling it for $42.50, so it really wasn't a bad sale at all, even for the amount of work I had to put into it. Honestly, right, with that kind of work when you're Frankensteining a box, you want it to be a good amount of money. So this was kind of borderline with it like that. I would have preferred probably to sell it locally, but haven't had a lot of local sales lately. Hopefully we'll see more as the summer starts up. But it's about $17 to me and $17 to Michael on this one. Thank you, Michael. All right, item number 7 is a flip camera. Picked this up at the Red, White, and Blue thrift store a few weeks back on one of the videos, so you guys can check that out if you're interested. It was kind of hiding in the back. I ended up picking this up for about $15, and it sold for $35, I think, after shipping. I think this one was free shipping. Knew I could double my money on this pretty easily, and even at $15, right? Of course, I would have liked to spend less, but what are you going to do? So $15 into about $42, no, $35 after shipping. Not a bad flip at all. Not a bad flip. All right, item number 8. Amber actually found this at an estate sale a few weeks back, which we did get this one on camera as well, so you can check out that video. Radica Handheld Solitaire. This was like, I think, the large format one. These used to have a ton of value, and now they've come down a little bit, but they're still pretty good, as you can see. This one sold for $30 with free shipping. So it ended up being about $25 after shipping. We bought everything we got at this estate sale for $5. So basically free, right? It's almost like you're giving them a little bit of money, but that's what they wanted for it all. So what are you going to do? This gets us into the profit for sure. Anything else that has sold is just straight profit at this point. Item number 9. This is the second of 2 PlayStation 1 controllers that I was selling for Michael. This one sold for the full price of $15 plus shipping. So it's going to be about $6 to me, $6 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. And then another Michael item right away, Fight Night Round 3 for the PlayStation Portable. He gave me a full bundle of this stuff with the PSP and a bunch of games. The PSP has not sold yet, surprisingly. I priced it a little on the high side, just trying to eke out a little bit more value out of it. It probably will sell if I bring it down in price a little bit. I always hope to get an offer on these, and maybe we can negotiate a fair price. But I'm guessing maybe the PSP isn't as desirable as it used to be. That'd be my guess. Otherwise, I would have gotten an offer by now. But this one sold for $13 after shipping. So it'd be about $5 to me, $5 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. Item number 11. This is another item that Amber found, a TI-84 graphing calculator. This one sold for $30 plus shipping, a little on the lower end, just because it was kind of in a little bit of rough shape. There's definitely a lot of writing on it, and I tried cleaning it up some, but it would have taken me way more time to get it looking pristine for another $10 to $15, right? It just wasn't really worth my time. It was in good working condition as it was, so that's how I listed it. And like I said, it sold for $10, or sold it for $30, and we were into it for about $10, so tripled our money on that one. Great little, nice little electronics flip. Thanks, Amber, for finding that one. Item number 12. This one's very interesting, you guys. My friend Matt was clearing out his house and just was getting stuff out of his closets, and he found all these dice that he had gotten in a blowout sale. I think it was definitely like a clearance sale. He got a ton of these things at one point, and he was just like, I'm just going to donate these. And I'm like, let's look them up, right? That's the reseller's dream, is like, let's see if this stuff has any value. And there were 6 packs of them, which I think there was 200 dice in each of them, something like that. And it looked like I might be able to get like $20, $25 for them each, right? So for 6 of them, that's a lot of money. Made one listing with a multiple quantity, right? That's kind of how you can handle a lot of these things really easily. So look into that if you haven't. And priced them at $25, and they sat for a little while. And then I got an offer on one of them of $20, which I sold a few weeks back. And then out of nowhere, somebody just wanted to buy the 5 remaining packages of them, and they wanted $20 each. And I was like, that's very fair. I will 100% do that. So we made it happen. So 40% like usual out of this one. It's going to be $40 to me and $40 to Matt. Thank you, Matt. All right. Item number 13, some ink. This was from a garage sale a few weeks back where we bought a bunch of stuff, a bunch of ink for $5, and been kind of just selling it out in smaller lots. So this was the first one that sold. There was 2 of them. I think it was a black and a yellow that sold, something like that anyway, right? For $5, turning that into $7.50 for just 2 of the, I think there ended up being like 15 boxes of ink in this thing. Like, it's super easy to do. Not as much profit off of 2 of them as you like. I've tried a few more of them into bigger lots. Should see some bigger profit from those. All right, item number 14. This is from a couple of months ago. I'd helped my friend Steven with his storage unit, just helped him move a bunch of stuff around, get some stuff out of there. And I took payment in items, right? That was a little easier than trying to do that. And then we kind of came up with a way to make sure that he gets some money back if that happens. And so this is one of the first items of his that's sold. I think it's the second item that's sold. Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore sugar and creamer set, right? I think it's Lennox. Sold it for $24 plus shipping. So with this kind of thing, it's going to be about $9.50 to me and $9.50 to Steven. So thank you, Steven. All right, next item here, more of that ink from that same lot that I was just telling you about. Like I said, put it into a little bit of a bigger lot. This one was 6 blacks, and it sold for $26, right? So originally paid $5 into that whole bag of ink, and this is the second lot that sold. We're already over $30 for that $5 investment. So pretty nice ink flip for sure. All right, item number 16. This is another Michael item also, even though it's not video games. This was one where we were just looking at the stuff in his room, and we were like, what the heck? Let's look this up, see if there's any value to it. Sure enough, it looked like it was selling for over $100, which is crazy. and got $106 plus shipping for this. It actually ended up going overseas through the eBay Global Shipping Program. So pretty crazy right there. For this one, it's going to be $42 to me and $42 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. All right, last two items. Got a shout out to my viewer, Jamie. Jamie, thank you very much for buying both of these from me. It always helps us out, gives us a little bit more cash to go out and buy more interesting things. So the first of the two lots that she bought was, this was Goosebumps books, 13 Goosebumps books. If you guys don't know about these, you're going to find them. They're out there. They sell for about $2 or $3 a piece, depending on what time of year it is. And the more books you can get, the better. Like if you can get huge lots of these things, they're going to sell. People are looking to buy them for, I don't know, for their personal use or even for maybe classroom use. There's lots of people out there buying these things. So she paid me $35 and we were into it for about $6.50. So really solid, like 5x times profit on this. Thank you so much, Jamie. And then the next item here, another book lot that she purchased. This is a Night World book series. I didn't really know if these had any value when I bought them. And I got them for about, I think it was 75 cents each. So it wasn't like the best pickup ever, but I was like, it was a book series. They were brand new, at least, or new adjacent maybe. And they were pretty cheap. So I just took a chance on them and they sat for just about a year before they finally sold. Sold for $8 to Jamie. Thank you so much, Jamie. All right. Well, that was the first week of sales. Let's get into this previous week. We'll start off with another Michael item. This is Spice World for the PlayStation 1. This did not sell for much, $11 with free shipping. Shipping ended up being just over $4 on this, so it'd be about $6.50, something like that. This is at the low end of the items that I ever want to list individually. I'm definitely trying to focus up, trying to bundle more things together to get a higher sell-through rate on every listing that I've got. But that being said, at this point of the year when I bought these from him, still every listing mattered. I almost had run out of things to list, if you guys can believe it, before we started going tag sales a couple weekends ago. And now, of course, there's stuff coming out my ears, right? That's usually how this goes. But it'd be about $2.50 to me and $2.50 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. Next item is a t-shirt. Amber and I did an experiment where we just bought some random t-shirts that looked like they had some value from a Savers thrift store. And this was one of them. I think we ended up paying $2.50 for this one, and it sold for $7 plus shipping. So really didn't make a lot of profit off of this one, but it did sell, and we weren't out any money. So fun little t-shirt flip, that's for sure. All right, the next item is a Game Shark for the PS1 disc. Disc for the PS1, another Michael item. You guessed it, right? Almost all the video game stuff has been from Michael. This one sold for $13, so it's going to be about $5 to me and $5 to Michael. Thank you, Michael. All right, this item here was, I thought, pretty interesting. It sat a little longer than I would like, but it's one of those 3D puzzles. This was Paris, and I didn't really think it was going to sell very well, but it was brand new inside, even though the box wasn't sealed. Took a little longer than I would have liked for it to sell, but it did sell. I've seen people buying these things like they're going out of business a lot of times, and I just have not had that much luck with them previously. So I just kind of randomly had looked this one up, hoping that maybe the price had come up. But even still, it sat for a good long while before it sold, even brand new. So maybe you got to be more genre specific. I know there's like some Star Wars ones out there that can do well. My advice would be to stay to those unless you got the space to store this stuff. I luckily was able to store this for, like I said, it was probably 6 to 12 months that it sat before I finally sold it. But I was into it for about $4.99. So really not a bad flip into $30. The next item is also pretty good. This one, this was the day that my camera ran out of battery. And it was terrible because we went to several thrift stores and to an estate sale and found a whole bunch of really neat stuff, and I didn't get any of it. At some point, my battery had just died, and I didn't realize it because I've got a second battery. I just forgot to look and check it. I just hit the button and ran. Right? Sometimes you get into that groove, right? You just keep going, buying more stuff, finding more stuff. And I wasn't paying attention to my camera, and I should have been. So good lesson learned, right? That's usually how I try to look at this is I'm mad at myself, but I've learned my lesson now to always check, make sure it's recording before I head into an estate sale or into a thrift store. And hopefully won't have that problem going forward. But that being said, I found this at a Goodwill here locally for $4.99. And it just looked like it had value, right? Some of these figures, they're just not going to, but I was like, it looked pretty good. I'm sure that somebody else had already looked it up, just kind of the position it was in. But I think maybe the keywords on this were really important. And so I right? I've been doing this for over 10 years now. I just kind of have that flow of what to search for. And I found a few of them that had sold for in this $60, $70, $80 range. And I was like, for $5, that's worth it, right? Like, even if it ends up taking a good long while for it to sell, I mean, with only 3 sold, it's not a very good sell-through rate potentially. $5 really wasn't a bad price for it. So I bought it, and sure enough, within just like a month or two, it sold at $70 free shipping. So it's going to net me about $62 for my $5 investment. Really, really solid toy flip, that's for sure. All right. Up next is a VCR, Sony VCR. This one sold the day that I listed it for you guys, which is crazy. I don't even exactly remember which thrift store I got it, but I know it wasn't very many weeks ago. And I paid up a little bit for it. It was $12. And I've had some bad luck lately, you guys, with VCRs, just not working. I think the run was like 6 in a row where they didn't work, which I was due because I had a big run last year where none of them were broken. Like, I just kept buying them and they were working. And sure enough, finally the payment came to. What I've found with VCRs, at least, is about 1 in 3 of them are not going to work. That goes the same for the DVD VHS players. And it's not always one side. Sometimes it's the DVD side, sometimes the VHS side. But luckily, this one worked really well. Like I said, into it for $12, and it sold for $60 plus shipping. So this was a good VCR flip for sure. All right. The next item also is very interesting. One of my friends from church, he gave me just a few items to try and sell for him. A couple silverware sets, which I don't normally get into. But this one was really interesting. So I did my research on it, listed it, and it sat for, I don't know, maybe 2 months. And I had it priced pretty high at $150. Finally got an offer of $100. Most of the offers I had gotten were like $40 or $50, which was really low in my opinion. And I got this offer for $100, and I was like, you know what? That's a fair offer. I'm going to take it. So for this one, from my friend John, it'll be $40, and to me, $40. Thank you, John. All right, the next item. I've lost my numbering here. I'm around item 30, I think, though. Something like that. This was from last Saturday's live garage sale video. Picked up a Wii. They said they had all the Mario games, which they didn't. They couldn't find them, at least. And they said there might be a game in there. So I, of course, hoped that there would be, but you never can tell. Got home, hit the eject button once I plugged it in. Sure enough, Mario Party 9 popped out. It was in rough shape, you guys. It was rough, but gave it a little polish. See, it looked like it might still play. Put it into my Wii and played, I don't know, for 10 minutes or so, and it ran just fine. So listed it, and it sold right away for my asking price. I think it was $33.99 free shipping, so it ended up being about $30 after shipping. I think I paid $20 for the Wii, so the Wii plus the controllers and this game. So I assigned a value of a cost of about $5 for it. So 5 into 30 for a video game, solid video game flip. All right. This item is also from my friend Steven from that storage unit clean out. This one was, you guys can tell it's a different picture. Facebook Marketplace, if you can believe it. Haven't really had a lot of luck there. I've been trying to do a bunch of cross-posting with these different items, especially when I'm like, I really hope for a local pickup. I will take less money for some of these big items if I don't have to ship it. That did not happen with this one. I didn't end up having to ship it. Luckily, I had a box that would work and a bunch of good packing material that would work for this. Got my full asking price of $150. The weird one with this is that I haven't quite figured out what the fee structure is on Facebook. It seems to be very different from eBay. So it's very interesting to me, but gonna keep learning on that one to see what it is. I don't think it's quite 20% like it is over on eBay. But for this one, we're going to keep the 40-40-20 rule in place for now. It'd be $60 to me and $60 to Steven. Thank you, Steven. All right. Next up is an Olympus voice recorder. The Olympus, solid, right? You're going to usually get $10 to $20 for these. The Sonys, and there might be maybe one other, maybe Panasonic, but the more modern ones, these digital ones without a tape in it, you're going to do pretty good on them. Usually, like I said, usually 15 to 20. The Sonys can go for a lot more, so I'd really look out for those. But if you can get these Olympus ones for like $1, then you're probably going to be doing okay on this. I got this as part of a bundle deal, so I assigned a cost of about $3 to it. So 3 into 15, not bad at all. This next item is also pretty strange. This is like a little mini keyboard that you would use for for your computer, and also would work potentially with a PlayStation. I had this for use with a computer that I had hooked up to my TV at one point. I was trying to use it as a media center, and with some success. It never really got as much use as I'd hoped it would. But I was like going through a bunch of my personal stuff recently when I was like cleaning up the storage unit, getting ready for the twins. And yeah, I was like, you know what? It's time to list this thing and get this thing out of here. I thought maybe I could get $30 for it. I took a best offer at $24, which I thought was fair. I had no idea what I originally had paid for it. It was probably like $50 to $100 though, a long time ago. But I'm happy to get 24 out of it now. So nice electronics sale right there. All right, and there's always going to be one of these, it feels like, in all of my videos. This was a lesson learned. I had this up for $19, and somebody offered me $12.50, which I was like, all right, that's a pretty fair offer. They got me free shipping. They got me with the free shipping, and located in Puerto Rico. So shipping ended up being $11.70. Therefore, after shipping, we sold it for 88 cents. Luckily, I got this and a bunch of other stuff for like $3 at a Savers a while back. So I'm not going to lose any money on this, just probably going to be out some money in fees, to be honest. Yeah, you got to have a lesson learned. Otherwise, you're not trying new things probably. We all wish we were perfect. Definitely I'm not. All right, a couple items to go. Cordless phone replacement, right? This is definitely something you can do if you buy a lot of cordless phones. You don't necessarily need to sell them all as one unit. You can part them out into different things. With this one, a bunch of the chargers were broken, so I ended up putting the phones up by themselves. And this is the second of the two to sell. Was into it for like $2. So I signed a cost of 75 cents for this and sold it for, after shipping, $11. So solid little flip right there. And then this one was a nice set. Picked it up for about $10 at a garage sale a few weeks ago. And I thought maybe I'd get 50 to 60 for it. I did end up taking a best offer of 45 on it, which I thought was fair. 10 into 45, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. Right in the wheelhouse of where you want to be for flipping stuff. All right, and then the last item of the week, this is another t-shirt. Same as the Devotion one we covered at the beginning. Picked it up for $2.50, sold it for $10. Not really going to get rich off of it, but Amber and I were trying to experiment to see if we could make some money on t-shirts, and we did all right. Okay, well, that's going to do it this week. It was about $607 in the first week in sales and $566 in the second week. Cost of goods sold in that first week was $210, and in the second week, $168. You may be thinking that is a little bit high, and that's because a lot of this was commissions, right? And working on selling other people's stuff. So, of course, the cost of goods sold is going to be a little bit higher because of that, right? 40%. That is very high. Oh, excuse me. When I'm buying stuff, I try not to go over 40% if it's a big enough item. But honestly, right, I want to be as low as possible, and you guys should be too. Honestly, pretty good sales. It was a lot. 33 over 2 weeks. That's a good number of sales. I would love to be even higher than that, maybe even like as high as 50 over 2 weeks, 25 a week. I try to list 25 items a week, so I want to sell 25. But it's been a little bit slower this year. I think the recession, all of the inflation has something to do with that right now. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see sales pick up as some of the more interesting items from tag sales garage sales this summer start to get listed. All right, well, that is going to do it this week, you guys. If you've enjoyed this content, please do smash that like button. And if you're interested in subscribing, we'd love to have you. Once again, my name is Patrick, and thank you very much.